Cup check. All right, guys. So here's going to be my main picks and just overall picks for the entire UFC 322 card, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Let's go. Now, I will be breaking down some of these fights and some of these, I mean mostly the late prelims and the, whole main card. Other than that, I'm not going to be super descriptive because I've literally never seen at least 4 of these people fight. I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to get my picks from where I've seen other people fight, but now I haven't seen the other people. You get the point. I'm going to pick based on what I've seen, and what I've seen is not good, guys. Okay. Starting with the early prelims, starting with the opener, we got Makhachev versus Camilo. I got Camilo taking this way by either submission or unanimous decision. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with unanimous decision or split decision. Either way, I think this is gonna be a decent fight, decent scrap. Makhachev is 8-6-1, 8 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw. If you think I'm gonna pick that over 8-3, you're greatly mistaken. You're greatly mistaken. Now, does experience usually mean you're better? No. And there's going to be a great example for this later in the video. Trust me, I'm not just going to stick with my gut here. I'm going to actually give you an example a little bit later. But here, I'm going to pick Camilo. Camilo's fresher. He's younger, I'm guessing. And to be honest, he's got less losses on his record. That's as good enough as an excuse for you than is a good enough excuse for me. Okay, again, I'm a casual, guys. I've watched as much tape as I can for some of these guys. For the other guys that, like on the early prelims, they're on the early prelims for a reason. Okay. Next up, Makhachev versus Sursurkayev. Now, this is actually one where I have seen at least one of the guys fight, Sursurkayev. He's not Sursurkayev, he's Sursurkayev. I really have a hard time saying his name right. I say Sursurkayev. I'm supposed to say Sursurkayev. Yeah, I think he's going to unanimously beat... No, he's probably going to submit Makhachev in the second or third round. Again, I've never seen Makhachev fight, but I have seen Sursurkayev fight. One thing I saw him do actually good in his fight, his most recent fight, is he kicked the leg. And eventually, he hurt the leg enough to the point where the guy literally couldn't stand up, I'm pretty sure. At least that's my own memory. Again, my memory could be failing me. But he eventually submitted the guy. So, either way, I mean, he's a showboater. I don't like that kind of crap. I hate showboating in MMA. I hate it. That's a big reason why I don't like MVP. Too much showboating, not enough fighting. And to be fair, he was losing his fight initially to the random guy that stepped in, who's a welterweight, by the way. So it was a welterweight going up to middleweight to fight Sursurkayev. And I still want to pick Sursurkayev to win this fight. Even though I want him to lose, I still think he's going to beat Makhachev. Now, by no means is Makhachev horrid. I just don't think he's... I don't know, I've never seen anything from him. Therefore, I can't pick him to win. I can't do it. If I haven't seen a guy fight and he's got like a, 10-3 record, I'm not going to pick you to fight. Sursurkayev is 10-0. Makhachev is 10-3 and 1 or something like that. So I'm picking Sursurkayev, even though Makhachev could win. This is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Sursurkayev could get the win. Makhachev could get the win. I don't know. Now, a fight I don't think is a 50-50 fight is Angela Hill versus Klein. I'm going to look at her name real quick so I can actually tell you guys the name. Fatima Klein or Angela Hill. Now, will experience beat a fresh up-and-comer? No. This one is a great example of that. I don't think the more fights you got means the better you are. That is not true. We've seen this time and time again where the more you fight usually means the more deteriorated you are. And there's even a better example than this. Angela Hill is 18-15. Fatima Klein is 8-1. I'm not picking someone who's got almost the same amount of wins as they got losses. Also, Fatima Klein has 2 KO finishes in the second and third round in her past 2 fights, guys. Her past 2 fights have been finishes. A KO and a KO. Angela Hill almost got finished in her last fight, too. Okay? Angela Hill's not still got it. She's old. She's 40. She's going against a lady who's, I don't know how young or how old, but she's 8-1. And her past 2 fights have been finishes. And the fight before that was her only loss to Jasmine, whoever the freak, right? Either way, since that one singular loss, okay, well, not one that one singular loss, she's literally only beaten people. Okay, I'm going to pick her to TKO Angela Hill in the second round or first round. First or second round, doesn't really matter. TKO, finish. Okay. And I don't think it's going to be close. I think Angela Hill's too old. I don't think she's fast enough. I don't think she's skilled enough. I mean, she's going against this younger, more powerful opponent. She's freaked. She is freaked. The last time she fought, she almost got finished. Time before that, she almost got finished. She's on her way out. And it's fair enough that she's old and doing this just to stay healthy and active. But my gosh, dude. You got to learn when to hang it up. She's got to... I mean, she gets finished, knocked out, or TKO'd brutally. Hang it up. She's old. She needs to hang it up. She's getting up there, man. She's 40. Literally up there. She's not getting up there. She's up there. She needs to chill out. She's too old to be taking this kind of punishment, okay? And she's lost her last 2 fights. I guarantee you. I'm pretty sure I just saw her lose her last fight. And it wasn't that close. Okay. She lost to random Lucindo, right? Yasmin Lucindo. Decision. She decisions some Ketlin Souza. Let's look at her other fights. She lost to Tabitha Ricci. She beat some random submitted her. Okay, last year. I still think she's going to end up TKOing this girl. She's probably got decent ground game, but it's obviously not that great. I mean, she wasn't able to beat Lucindo. You've probably never heard of these ladies because you probably don't watch WMMA. Fair play. I don't really either. I only watch it when it's on a card that I'm forced to watch from beginning to end. I'm picking Klein to TKO Angela Hill, continue her finish streak in the first or second round. Maybe even third if Angela Hill's that durable. Sorry, guys. Now we're moving on. Now we got Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini. I got cheap Mariscal by TKO or submission. He's gonna finish Pat Sabatini in this fight. I think it's guaranteed to happen. He's on a 4-fight win streak, 3-fight win streak, something like that. Pat Sabatini literally just came off of one win. He's 1-1 in his last 2. I think I'm gonna double check just to make sure it's not incorrect. Okay, he's 1-3 in his last. 1-2 in his last 3. That one loss was to Diego Lopez, fair loss, but Mariscal hasn't lost a fight in like 4 fights. He's on like a 4-fight winning streak, all by unanimous decision. So he's obviously probably not a pretty fighter to watch, but I think he's going to continue that streak as well. I think that streak's going to continue to be unbroken for now against Pat Sabatini. You're getting chinned out by Diego Lopez in the clinch. And you get a submission after that, okay, cool. You get a decision after that, okay, fine. But if you're going up against a guy who's won 4 decisions in a row, you're probably not winning. You're just probably not winning. Not gonna lie. I just gotta admit that. I don't think Sabatini's gonna have it in him to beat him. Go 3 rounds with Mariscal, who's obviously a decisionator, unanimous decision. His last 4 opponents. I'm picking Mariscal by unanimous decision. He's gonna continue that. Ignore my initial sub or TKO. That's off rip, just trying to psych you guys out. Alright, Kyle Dawkins versus Gerald Meerschaert III. If you've seen Gerald Meerschaert fight in his last couple, he looks like Meerschaert. He looks like Shart. Okay, he looks really bad. He hasn't looked good in a while. I mean, he looked good in his fight with Rainer de Ritter. But if you've seen his last fight, he looked horrid, man. He looked super old. He looked so stiff and slow. And that's not going to bode well with Kyle Dawkins, who just chinned out Michel Pereira. I'm picking Kyle Dawkins by TKO. I think he's going to get him in and out of there first or second round. Probably first round, honestly. Pretty easily, too. I think it's GM3's time to retire. He's taking unwarranted punishment. Again, a great example of a guy who has more fights. But at the same time, do those more fights make you better? No. Because he's old, stiff, slow. Kyle Dawkins is not old, stiff, and slow. He may not be the best, but he's definitely better than GM3 right now in his physical condition. GM3 pulls off submission. I won't cry about it. I'll take that to the chin. But I think Kyle Dawkins is going to TKO him in the first or second round. Easily first round, too. I think he's going to easily get in the first round. Moving on to the preliminary card. Starting off with Wellmaker. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Ethan Ewing. Wellmaker by KO. I don't care what this Ewing has done that's been outside of the UFC. He got the call short notice. He's not prepared. He's not. I guarantee you. I mean, sure, Wellmaker's not prepared either. But I think Wellmaker's probably better. The guy Wellmaker's fighting is 8-2. 10 fights, he's lost 2 of them. Not that great. Wellmaker's 10-0. I think he's going to knock out his next opponent, become 11-0. And if he ends up being 10-1, because this guy's an absolute killer, okay, fair. Again, I'll take that to the chin. Next fight, Erica Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. I got Cortez by unanimous or split decision. Guys, when I say I don't watch women WMMA, I mean that. And I still think Tracy Cortez is probably going to get this by unanimous decision. I mean, she got it the last fight, and I didn't pick her. That's what I'm going to base it off of. Erica Blanchfield hasn't fought in, quite a while, so I don't know what she looks like or how she fights. So, I'm rolling the dice on this one. All right. Romain Kopylov versus Gregory Rodriguez. This one is actually something I can base some information off of. Gregory Rodriguez is getting a KO in the first round. That or he's getting slimed out. Because Romain Kopylov, he's faster. He's younger than Gregory Rodriguez by a little bit. I think by a little bit. Literally by a little bit. I'm pretty sure they're both 34 years old. I don't know how Gregory Rodriguez is in his 30s. He looks old as freak. Again, to be fair, Gregory Rodriguez could also get chinned. I'm just going with what I think's more likely, and based on their last 2 performances, Gregory Rodriguez looks more dangerous. Romain Kopylov literally just almost got knocked out by Paulo Costa. Right? He literally got knocked out, almost got knocked out by my brother. Okay? This is insane. Paulo Costa, to be fair, does have good power and is a good fighter. But Romain Kopylov literally had his coaches telling him, you're winning the fight while he's down to 0-2. Going into the third. You're up 2 rounds. When he got dropped in the previous round. Romain Kopylov is probably, if he gets clipped the way he got clipped against Paulo, he's getting knocked the freak out by Gregory Rodriguez. And again, if he uses some ninja move to knock out Gregory Rodriguez, I'm fine with that because, hey, I think this fight's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be a banger of a fight. And I think Old Man RoboCop's going to get this by KO. Slump him out cold. And that's just my take on that fight, okay? Rodolfo Vieira versus Bo Nickel. You know, Bo Nickel's a quitter. He got TKO'd and got folded with a body shot. Folded with a body shot. With a knee to the body. Of course, it was a picture-perfect knee. But he crumpled up on the ground and just did not defend himself, did not do anything. Got TKO'd by Rainer de Ridder, who's, I guess, not a bad guy to lose to, but at the same time, how are you, like, getting Rainer de Ridder off of Paul Craig, my guy? Decision Paul Craig, getting Rainer de Ridder, and you came in as the favorite against Rainer de Ridder. I'm not ever betting money on a Bo Nickel fight, ever. But if I had to bet my money on this fight, I think Rodolfo Vieira has the better experience. He's won quite a few of his last fights, guys. I'm going to take a look at this. You can't make fun of me for having to look at this many freaking times in a row. Rodolfo Vieira is 11-3. Bo Nickel is 7-1. Rodolfo Vieira has a decision win over Trajan Gore, a decision over Andre Petroski, a submission over Armin Petrosian, a submission over Cody Brundage, a decision over Chris Curtis, a submission over Dustin Stoltzfus, and look, his only loss, that singular loss since 2021. So in 2021 when he lost to Anthony Hernandez, who submitted him. I think Rodolfo Vieira is going to get this, either submission or decision. I don't care which, as long as he slimes out. As long as he doesn't have to slime him out. He just beats him. I think he will. I think he does whatever he wants to Bo Nickel. Maybe he can get clipped and dropped and TKO'd in the first round. But just judging on all of his fights recently, I mean, decision over Trajan Gore, decision over... he lost to Andre Petroski. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, this changes things. Just a little bit. I mean, still a decision loss, not super terrible. And he beat Trajan Gore, not horrid. Okay, he submitted Armin Petrosian in 2024, which was not that long ago. Even though, actually, it's almost been a year since 2024. It's actually crazy. I shouldn't say that. It's so stupid. Okay, so it's a one-fight win. But Bo Nickel's coming off a loss, a TKO loss. And they lost in vastly different ways. I'm sorry for the misinformation. He did not beat Armin Petrosian. He lost to Andre Petroski. Sorry, guys, I'm tired. I am so dumb. And either way, I think I'm just going to trust my gut here. I'm going Rodolfo Vieira. Submission or decision, round 3. Right? It's going to be in the third round, I feel like. I really don't care either. I mean, this is a fight where I'm like, who cares, really? Bo Nickel. I don't know why he's so loved by the UFC that he almost got put on the main card over Beneil Dariush, over Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prats. Again, I'm going to stick with my gut here. Vieira, unanimous decision or sub. Either way. Now, when I talk about 50-50 fights, I'm talking about a fight that literally could swing either way. I want to leave some silence in there. You're probably thinking, why am I getting so serious all of a sudden? This is where things change for me. I think Beneil Dariush and BSD is a 50-50 fight. You can pick one and you're still going to be uncomfortable with the thought of the other one winning. You're going to be uncomfortable. This is one of those fights that makes you uncomfortable to think about. Because you just don't know who's winning. We got Beneil Dariush, one of the most skilled lightweights on the planet. I'll admit that. I think he is. He's a great grappler. He's a good striker. One problem, he's chinny. Now, could he get knocked the freak out by BSD? Absolutely. But BSD has also been chinned out and stopped a few times now. Okay? He's not unstoppable. He's a stoppable force. And Beneil Dariush is a movable object. Okay? I'm not kidding. This is a 50-50 fight where I think the skill is going to shine through a lot for both of these fighters. Dariush is going to dominate the ground game, at least I think. I think he's a better grappler. I think he's almost good as striker. BSD, good striker, decent grappler. Decent. I mean decent. I don't mean good or great. Decent. Excuse me, burping a lot tonight because I'm talking so much. I think Beneil Dariush is going to get this, guys. I have my money on Beneil Dariush. I still think this is a 50-50 fight because I still think BSD could finish him. But I think Dariush could also finish BSD. This is such a weird fight. This is such a weird fight because it's like, okay, I've seen Dariush get chinned out, but he's only been chinned out by like the best of the best. Arman Sarukian, Charles Oliveira, at the time, Edson Barboza, when he was really young in his career. And of course, he's been chinned out by some guys that aren't the greatest, but he's always been chinned out by these guys that have a ton of power, like Alexander Hernandez. Okay, Alexander Hernandez is going on a run recently. Okay, he's on a 4 or 5 fight win streak. Not bad. But Beneil Dariush got knocked out by him because he was cheap. Okay, look, Beneil Dariush, I think, is more skilled than BSD. Therefore, I think he's going to win. But that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I thought, BSD would get knocked out by Rufy. That didn't happen, obviously. He choked out Rufy and proved that he's still worthy of being ranked, obviously. Again, to me, this is like one of the only fights on the card that's a very big 50-50, where this could go either way. I just think this leaning towards Beneil Dariush. I think this is going to be a goated fight. Goated fight. I think this is going to be a fantastic fight. Okay? But I think Dariush is going to get the 50-50 coin flip. I think he's going to get the 50-50 coin flip. I think Beneil Dariush is probably going to get the better of BSD, skill-wise. I think he's just better. But I can't knock BSD. He's proven me wrong several times now. Okay? But again, the last time I picked against Dariush as well, Dariush proved me wrong. Alright. Moving on. Carlos Prats versus Leon Edwards. Now, I know everyone thinks this is a pretty close fight too. And here's what I'll say. Don't underestimate either guy. But don't expect Leon to be in his physical prime. Leon's out of his prime, guys. He's not the same Leon I saw. Okay. The Leon that fought Kamaru, the Leon that fought, I don't really remember all the guys he fought, but I know he fought Usman twice. I know he head kick KO'd Usman. I know he's got some power in his punch. He didn't win a single round over Brady. He got dominated by Bilal Muhammad. He got dominated by Brady and then submitted by Brady. I think he's going to get knocked out or TKO'd at the very least. I think his time is coming where he's eventually going to have every single kind of loss on his record. He's going to have a decision loss. He's going to have a knockout loss and a submission loss. He's already got a no contest, so he's already getting them. Okay, he's racking them up like infinity stones. I think Prats is going to be the first guy to finish Leon Edwards by TKO or KO. Prats is superior in almost every aspect in his game. He's a better boxer. He's better in the clinch. He's got better elbows. He's better at He's obviously better in the Muay Thai. One aspect I'd give to Leon is his leg kicks. But they're two completely different fighters. Leon is a point fighter. Prats is a KO artist with one punch knockout power. And Leon's not that guy unless he lands a flush head kick that has to be perfect. I think Carlos Prats is going to get this by knockout in the first or second round. I've said that a lot this video, probably. But I think this is the one that's guaranteed to be a win for Prats. I mean, I don't think Leon's a Ian Gary, okay, where Ian Gary can mix everything together. Leon's not like that. Leon has to be grappling to be able to grapple. He has to be striking to strike, okay? That makes sense? Ian Gary can mix things together. Leon has never shown me that he can mix things together really well. He can't throw a kick and then end up taking you down immediately after, right? He's not... I feel like people are overestimating him a little bit. Right? And I think that's fine. They're overestimating. He was a former champ. But I think he's getting knocked out by Prats. I just don't think his chin is that great. I mean, he's obviously... He got rocked by Nate Diaz. That's not really a guy who had that crazy of power. You're getting rocked by him. You know? Tomorrow's my birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday is gonna kill him. Slump him out. Deviously. Freak. I never liked Leon Edwards. And this might be biased, but I think Carlos Prates has just got more of a motivation to beat him. And he's got more of a way of beating Leon. Could Leon win? Of course. You can't ever count anyone completely out. But based on their last performances each, I'm picking Carlos Prates by KO or TKO in the first or second round. Moving on. This is a fight where I think this could end up being a controversial decision if it goes to a decision. Okay? Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko. Now here's the thing. I'm picking the girl who's younger, who's clearly, I think, stronger, and probably more athletic. I'm picking Zhang Weili to win this. I don't know how she's going to win this. I don't know how Valentina would win this. I'm still picking Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is giving me more reasons to believe. She's strong as freak. She picked up Shaq. She picked up Francis. Those are guys that are like 300 pounds. These aren't ballerinas like her. She's picking up beefcakes, essentially. These massive freaks that are way beyond her size. More than double her weight. I'm picking Zhang Weili to brute force her way to a win over Valentina Shevchenko. I think she's going to break Shevchenko's win streak. I think she's going to be the lady. I think you have to truly be special to beat something special. And I think Zhang Weili is that. I think she is good enough to beat Valentina Shevchenko. Moving on. Islam Makhachev versus JDM. As much as I want JDM to win, I also want Islam to win. Is that weird? Where I feel like I'm one of the few people that really likes both of these fighters. Like JDM, he's cool. He's powerful striker, good striking, good boxing. He's got great scrambles. I mean, he's working with Craig Jones like probably every single day to make sure he doesn't stay on his back. And Islam Makhachev, he's been proven that he can be beaten. I mean, we had Volkanovski come out there and show that he's good enough to give Islam one of the toughest fights of his life. Dustin Poirier. again, was able to give him one of the toughest fights in his life. Gave him a permanent scar. You know, hurt him quite a few times in the fight. I mean, him and Volkanovski were the only guys that really got close to beating Islam. You know? And then Islam ended up beating them both concretely. Right? Like, Islam ended up winning the decision over Volkanovski. Close fight, very competitive. Then he head kick KO'd him on short notice. Volkanovski on short notice. Then he submitted Dustin Poirier. Late submission. A late round submission, which is crazy. I think this is a fight that's going to end in one of two ways. Somebody's getting finished. I think Islam could get chinned. I do. I think he'd get TKO'd or chinned. Either one, really. I think JDM's more like the type to get a TKO than a knockout cold. And Islam has only gotten finishes, man. In his last 3 fights, I mean, he submitted Moicano, he submitted Dustin, he KO'd Volk. Then he beat Volk, right? Decision, right? We're going in reverse order. Submitted Charles after dropping him badly. He finished Bobby Green. He submitted Dan Hooker. I mean, what's more likely? Islam getting a submission or JDM getting a TKO? I don't know. I think JDM is good enough to beat him, but I also think Islam has got a better mentality. I mean, JDM is soft when it comes to his nose and all that, but when he's in a fight, he's a tough guy. He's a really tough guy. This is a hard fight to call. I'm going to give the slight edge to Islam Makhachev. He's on creatine, guys. You know, he's on creatine. He's going to get the win. If Islam wins, it's by submission. If JDM wins, it's by TKO. No one seems to disagree on those two takes. But what if it goes to a decision? Then what? Whoever loses, then it's going to be like, oh, freak. Both of these guys have been undefeated for like a long time. So the fact that one of them beat the other in a 5-round fight, it's going to go crazy. I think this fight really is going to be a crazy fight. I think Islam's going to keep taking JDM down, though. And I think JDM's just going to keep getting up. And I think at some point it's going to be who loses their cardio more than the other. And I think possibly Islam could lose his cardio first. But if he gets in a dominant position, like full mount, or gets both hooks in while he's on JDM's back, if he gets on JDM's back. Because I'll say this, I think Belal Muhammad might be stronger than Islam. I think Islam is easily way more athletic than Belal. Bilal's a pressure fighter. Islam's also kind of a pressure fighter, but at the same time, he's kind of not. So it's kind of weird. I got Islam by sub. I got to go with my gut here. I think Islam's going to get the submission, and as much as everything's telling me don't go for that, don't do that, don't pick that, like go for JDM, go for JDM. Everyone's trying to convince me, go for JDM by TKO in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't buy into it. I'm not buying into it. His best win is Belal Muhammad, which was by decision. His second best win was Gilbert Burns. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? His second best win is Gilbert Burns. To be fair, that's not a terrible win, especially at the time. But he was also getting put on his back quite a few times by Burns. He's getting taken down. It was a very competitive fight until he TKO'd him. Until he knocked him out, you know. Until he knocked him out, it was a close fight. And Burns was putting in work. I think I got Islam by sub. I don't think JDM's ever faced anyone like Islam. I think Islam's faced quite a couple people like JDM. And if you learn from your mistakes in your previous fights, which I hope is what Islam's doing, and if you're, like the best champion of the current era, that's what you should be doing. Learning from every fight, learning from every mistake you've made in your fights. Then he's going to win this. He's going to submit JDM in the third, fourth round. But if he doesn't, then JDM can definitely win this. TKO in the second or third round. I kind of agree with both sides of the pool where it's like, I think Islam's going to submit him. But actually, JDM could also knock him out or TKO him. I think it's going to be a crazy fight. I think this is what people expected DDP versus Chimaev to be. I think that's what this fight's going to be. And I think you can bet your money this is going to be a pretty dang crazy fight. Regardless of who wins or who loses. But that's my prediction. I got Islam by sub. Weili by, I have no clue. But I think I got Weili by decision. I forgot to talk about Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Holy crap. Well, this got out of order. Alright, let me spiel a little bit. Michael Morales has not faced a grappler of the same caliber as Sean Brady. Burns is close, but not all the way there. I think Sean Brady's going to get this by submission. I know that sounds crazy. Well, when you take into account the people that Sean Brady's been fighting his past 3 fights, I think it's likely that he can get a submission over Michael Morales. That or Michael Morales can also chin him. He could totally chin him out. Lay him out. Flat on his back. But I don't find that to be super likely. I know Michael Morales has gotten better since his past 3 fights. But what about Sean Brady? He's also gotten better. You don't think he's gotten better? I do. I mean, he had a very competitive fight with Gilbert Burns where he won pretty much every round. I mean, I watched it myself. I mean, yeah, Gilbert landed some pretty dang strong shots. Brady landed more. Landed cleaner. And also did more on the ground, too. Much respect to Burns, because Burns was able to do a lot in that fight. He was still able to land heavy shots. He was able to take Sean Brady down, prove that he's still really good. He then goes and faces Michael Morales, gets chinned, slimed, immaculately. So I don't know, bro, but guess what Sean Brady did? He submitted Leon Edwards. He submitted Leon Edwards, which I don't think anyone expected. Guillotine that he enforced onto Leon Edwards. He practically made Leon quit. I'm just going to say that. I think Leon quit in that fight. When you start trying to grapple a grappler, you know you're pretty much done. You can't do much more. And yes, I know Sean Brady's been hurt by people like Burns or people like, Bilal, where he got finished by Bilal. Yeah, that's brutal. But he's improved since then. And if you don't think he's improved his defensive boxing or kickboxing, you're insane. Excuse me. Michael Morales has definitely improved, but he hasn't shown me anything I haven't seen from him. And I haven't seen much from him. I mean, losing around to Adam Fugit is crazy work. Right? He gets put on his back, stays on his back for a while, gets shots, nasty shots landed on him. Second round, close round. Very close round with a random guy I've never heard about. Michael Morales, okay? I've never heard of Adam Fugit. Complete random, off the freaking street. Literally, short notice too, by the way. Eventually chins him out in the third round. But he struggled throughout the whole fight to find that shot and put him out. And he didn't even put him out cold. He had the TKO. which I think people are overrating his power. He doesn't have that Carlos Prates power. Carlos Prates got some nasty power, okay? Michael Morales had to find the shot against Adam Fugit. Literally had to land the nastiest shot of all time, the spinning elbow on Neil Magny. Okay? He had to literally spinning elbow Neil Magny to drop him and then finish him with some nasty ground and pound. To be fair, he did finish him pretty nastily. Right? But this is a Neil Magny that's been wearing and tearing on his body, for a while. Then he fights Gilbert Burns, who, again, same kind of an issue, been taking fights that have been very unfavorable for a while, and finally gets an easy finish, if you want to call it that. I mean, he still got taken down, put on his back. Of course, he was able to get up because Burns is really short for the division. He's like 5'8", 5'9". He's not tall for the division at all. He's very average, if not short. I mean, he still put up a decent fight until he didn't. I mean, after he took him down, he almost got finished, and then he went for another takedown, and then he got finished after that takedown attempt. I think. So, like, what has Michael Morales done that literally everyone else in this division hasn't? Nothing crazy. So if he finishes Sean Brady, you know what? Freak. He deserves a title shot. He's nasty. But if he doesn't finish Sean Brady and he gets submitted or just dominated by Sean Brady, which I think is what's going to happen, is I think Brady's going to either submit him late or just dominate him. Because, again, he's never faced a guy as big, as strong as Sean Brady. He's always had the height and reach advantage to his favor in almost all of his fights. So I'm not confident at all in Michael Morales. I'm actually way more confident in Sean Brady, who's had to go against guys with longer reach than him, had to go against bigger adversity like Bilal Muhammad, who I know gets a lot of crap on the internet, but you gotta admit he's a good fighter. Fought Kelvin Gastelum, okay, that's not the craziest win. Submit him, Kimura, okay, that's a good win. I mean, obviously, it was basically meant to happen. Fights Burns, has a very competitive fight where he does get rocked, but he doesn't ever really lose a round other than like the third, which I'm pretty sure was the round he got rocked in. But he basically took every round other than that. Right, the round he got rocked in was probably the round he lost. Even then, he still got tons of takedowns, still got a lot of control time. A bit of control time, actually, not a lot. And he also got nut-shotted twice. So he's a tough guy. He really is a tough guy. I gotta admit that. He's a tough guy, he's durable, he's big, and he's thick. He's chunky. So he's gonna be able to take down Michael Morales a lot. Okay? Because Michael Morales is a tall, big dude, right? Strong, big, young. Big factor here into why he's able to cut so much weight. And I guarantee you he cuts a ton of weight. I still think Sean Brady is going to be able to outwork, outmuscle, and just outskill Michael Morales. I think he's going to either, again, dominate him or submit him. Because Michael Morales has not shown me anything special. He's just shown me good stuff. He's shown me good stuff. And if he finishes Sean Brady, that's special. You definitely are special. Sean Brady's only lost to one guy in the entirety of his whole career. One singular guy he's lost to. And that was Bilal Muhammad. Again, yeah, getting finished by Bilal Muhammad, that's a bad look. Sure, but that was like 4 fights ago, 3-4 fights ago. That's not a fair testament to Sean Brady. Okay, it's not. It's just not. Sean Brady's improved since then, and he's proven that he's improved since then. And I think he's still improving his game. And I think he's good enough to beat Michael Morales. For sure. Beat him, too. Like, not just beat him like, oh, well, a bunch of pitter-pat. No, I think he's going to press. He's going to push back Michael Morales. Eventually take him down and keep him down. I don't think he's like Burns. I don't think he's like Neil Magny. I think he's a genuinely great wrestler who could definitely give Michael Morales a ton of freaking problems. And not just problems, but probably just all problems. There you go. Sorry it ended up getting out of order. I really tried. I wrote everything down, by the way, to get it all in order and everything. Crazy it still went out of order. Man, it was almost perfect, man. Almost freaking perfect. That just freaking sucks. Well, anyway, if you're not liked or subscribed, and if you haven't considered it, what would it take